am doing this to have a tutorial on how to catch bass in extremely overpressured little ponds like this, you know, just the most accessible kind of waters that most people can hit. So I'm just gonna, you know, show a couple of little strategies I have come across. And to start off, we're gonna go with the most basic. We're gonna go with casting into cover. So over the years of fishing ponds like this, I have noticed that bass tend to hide in cover. And yeah, you can say, you know, obviously, but I guess I can show you a couple tricks that aren't so common when it comes to employing the strategy. So first off, we'll just do the standard. We can just bring some ooh, looks like we got something. Something was biting it. It's maybe just some bluegill. All right, lost my train of thought. So we can just employ the standard, you know. I am gonna go ahead and take this. I got a little Texas rigged worm, and I'm gonna cast it near the moss, near the cover, and I'm gonna reel around the moss or underneath the moss. So I found that to be super effective. So let's go here. And something that's actually very helpful is if you look at those trees up there, bass have kind of self-programmed themselves to, well, just by the action of nature, stuff will fall from those trees, like bugs or anything like that, anything that bass eat. And so they'll hang around under these trees a lot, and they will go for anything that drops there. So sometimes it's a really good idea to cast under trees, over overhangs, over anything like that, because they naturally see food as coming from that area. So let's see if we can continue. Don't sleep on these shallow areas. Sometimes bass really just hide under just the most shallow moss you can find. And sometimes they go towards the edge. Sometimes they go towards the edge of the pond because food or whatever is there. I think I'm getting just bluegills hitting my stuff, man. They seem super interested in this. This pond, a lot of people use worms here, but this is like a curly-tailed worm. Maybe that'll trick them more. They're not just seeing the standard worm, but it's a little hard to fish here because it's so mossy. So you either got to use the common weedless ones, like a Texas worm. Ooh, looks like something's chasing that. You either got to use a Texas worm or you got to use some type of frog. Otherwise, you're just gonna get caught up in all this gunk. It does make good fishing though, because all this gunk and all these attracts all the bugs when you're in a forested area, and a lot of the times the bass just have a ton to eat, so it's always good. So let's get a cast over here. See if we can't get a hit. So that's mainly what we're going to try to focus on in this video is these mossy parts. Let's see if I can pull this. It's a pretty decent cast right there. Another thing I like to do, which if it picks up on camera, is just a really good stress to just get your lure just let it slide over the moss and just let it fall into a hole, and sometimes something will pick it up like that. right. See if we can just cast into this general kind of swampy area. Still around cover, you know. Oh, am I getting bluegill on the line? I think I'm just getting bluegill, just picking this stuff up. I'm getting a lot of hits, but it seems like it's from bluegill. Oh yeah, it looks like I got something. Oh yeah. Bass on. Looks like he's stuck on something. And there we go, utilizing the strategy. It's a nice sized one too, especially for this size pond. Look at that. Let's get rid of some of this gunk. Look at that. It's a nice size bass for this kind of pond here. Got him hooked nicely, very nicely. Look at that. Right underneath some of that cover there. The strategy works. Let's send him back. I'm gonna launch him a little bit, even though I'd like not to, actually. Maybe I can toss him a little bit softer. You know, I don't want to hurt him. Alright, this seems like a good spot. Let's send him back. And there we go. Let's get a little bit of wash here. That was nice, that was nice. He went right under for that. Went right under that foliage right there for that worm. And when it comes to these small holes here, like I was saying earlier, like you could think it's super shallow and it's just really mossy and there's not much structure. They'll hide under there. They'll literally be, let me get closer here. They will legitimately be like within feet of you right here, just hiding under a bunch of cover. Like that is a real thing. Like, I have caught bass right here, right down here. So don't think they're not hiding. They're definitely hiding in the tightest spots you can think of. Especially the little guys. The big bass, if you're trying to target big bass, the big bass will be in the best real estate because they dominate all the other bass. So whatever looks like it would be amazing, like large bass sit right there because it's such a good spot. Whatever looks like it would be amazing for a bass, like there's a lot of easy access to bluegill and there's a lot of cover, that's where the biggest bass will hide. they will take the most optimal spot for them to sit, and they will push out any other smaller bass. So see, like even here, I will fish these little holes right here because sometimes there are bass just sitting there. Oh, it's a bunch of carp. These carp are pretty large, to be honest. I should probably fish for them eventually. I don't know if it's trying to nest right there or what. I couldn't even notice. Now, if it's like insanely shallow, there probably won't be a bass, but doesn't hurt to try still. Well, that's gonna do it for me, folk. Just a simple trick, just a simple kind of tip, you know, just cast underneath foliage and you should greatly increase your chances of catching a bass. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll just keep making, you know, little tips and tricks videos like this. Hopefully it'll help you guys, you know, catch more bass, just gain more numbers, you know, more size. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a good night.